We went on a trip where he took days off. I think my family thought I was going to die because my daughter says my mother's really sick. My husband took me on this trip and he knew I wasn't feeling well. And we drove all up the coast and all I wanted to do was sit, and I'm all up and ready to go. I'm not wanting to sit. So I'm glad I'm feeling better, And I told him if this program helps even just a little bit, it'll be a good program, And it's helped tremendously, like tremendously.
Hi, Maggie Yu, MD here, functional and holistic medicine MD and owner of Transform. Today, we have an incredible interview from a recent graduate. Her name's Corinna. Corinna has been dealing with relapsing polychondritis, and she was only diagnosed last year, but has had symptoms for 10 years. But when you see her list of symptoms that she has, it's really common in all autoimmune diseases. So we're going to take a look and see what her symptoms are and where she is now, just 2 months after joining our program. I hope you enjoy this interview. Hey, Corinna, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Corinna Suarez. I'm 47 years old. I have 5 kids, 2 grandkids. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with relapsing polychondritis. It's an autoimmune disease that causes extreme inflammation in your cartilage.
Thank you for that background, Corinna. And a lot of people think about the diagnosis so much, so relapsing polychondritis. However, what were some of the main symptoms that you were dealing with?
I had extreme fatigue, bloating, gas, really bad gas. My stomach was so swollen, it looked like I was 8 months pregnant. I had joint pain all over my body, my hands, my feet, my knees, my hips. Aside from back pain I've had for 20 years, I just felt super swollen, and I had no energy.
So a lot of people will say that they identify with that diagnosis, but honestly, every symptom that you listed are really common symptoms in any autoimmune disease. Yeah. I mean, bloating, swelling, pain, those are really common symptoms in any autoimmune disease. So I'm trying to move people away from hyper-focusing on what diagnosis they have and for them to really understand how many other targets of autoimmune attack there really are. And there's more in common with symptoms with all autoimmune diseases than there are differences.
Yeah, because I really noticed a lot of symptoms before even having a diagnosis, before having something that flared up to make it obvious something was going on. So I did have the fatigue and the joint pain and all of that stuff.
How long did when you look back from the very beginning, I know you were just diagnosed last year, but when you look back and now you understand these are all targets of autoimmunity, how many years total or decades do you think you've had symptoms of autoimmune for that even predated your diagnosis?
Probably 10 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah.
And it just kind of trickled in, one after the other.
Okay. So couple things, which is when you look at your top 3 symptoms with the bloating, the fatigue, pain, would you say those are your top 3 symptoms?
Yes.
You just graduated from our 2-month online program. What number were those symptoms? What level were they? How bad were they before you joined the program 2 months ago?
The joint pain was definitely a 10. The bloating was, by the end of the night, probably a 12 or a 13.
Dang, girl.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was like it just got more swollen as the day went on. Mm-hmm. I could barely breathe going to sleep at night. And the fatigue, I stayed in bed. I was in bed for 4 months straight, didn't get out of bed. Mm-hmm. Forced myself to get up and go to the gym and work out. I made myself more exhausted.
It's almost like when you work out, you have to pay for it.
Yeah. When
you do anything, you have to pay for it.
Yep.
Now it's 2 months later. Yay.
Fast forward.
Okay, people want to know where your symptoms are at. And I want to preempt this by saying that this is not the kind of results or timing that you're going to see in conventional medicine.
Not at all.
So, I mean, I don't know what your expectations were, but where are you now?
I have no joint pain. I say I birthed Penelope because Penelope was the swollen belly.
Oh.
So I don't have the swollenness. My whole body, the inflammation is gone down.
Wow.
My joint pain is gone. And really it started so soon in the program that I was shocked. It was like maybe I was a week in the program and I had pulled the lid off of my husband's coffee cup and it was a tight lid. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get it off. It hurt so bad. And I popped that thing off and I was like, it didn't hurt. Oh my God. So I'm feeling a lot better. My energy is through the roof. I'm up at 5 a.m. I go to the gym. I walk for an hour. I work out for an hour. I come home and I have enough energy to do what I got to do. And I'm busy. So, and to be spending time in that bed, so I'm excited. I'm just so excited that I joined this program.
How in a week did you go from the amount of pain you can even pull a lid to not being able to being able to pull it effortlessly? Like
Water,
that, nobody's heard about that in a week anywhere. So how did it happen for you? I'm curious.
water, water, and the food that you have in your program. I always tell everybody in the, in the dens, in the groups, if you haven't printed out that recipe book and eaten what you can, now the key word is what you can, because I was such limited on my food that I had to pick and choose things that I thought would be okay.
Before the program?
From the program.
Before the program or after the program?
During the program.
Okay. So you're saying that
before the program, I had maybe 8 foods that I could tolerate.
Before the program, you had 8 foods that you could eat. So you're really limited.
Yes.
And then what happened?
I started eating the foods out of the recipe book, and I'm kind of a textury person, so it took me a little bit to get used to. And I had
foods, you mean?
My mindset to like, this food is healing me.
Mm-hmm.
And I love everything in it. I love everything in it.
I want to clarify because people think you're on some sort of like food shipment plan and I'm shipping to you. So this is my recipe book in the program that you're saying that you started cooking out of. And there was definitely a huge variety and diversity of food that you added to your diet that was new. Am I right?
Yes. A fat.
So adding diversity in the program, what really helped water and adding that food diversity, you felt like was really the most helpful thing initially to decrease pain.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
What happened later when you got data for your food
I
mapping?
got down to the data, and I had done food tolerance tests.
Yeah.
And I was allergic to so many things that I love to eat.
So wait a minute. In the past, you had done food intolerance testing that told you were allergic to the world.
Yes, hair follicle testing.
Hair follicle testing for food, and was told that you were allergic to the world. That's why you were down to like very few foods.
Yep.
What happened when you got the data from our program and our food mapping process?
I found out I was allergic to almonds and oysters. I've never had oysters in my life.
Wait, that's it? 2 things? You were sensitive to 2 things.
2 things.
Not the world, 2 things. Okay. What happened with that data?
I was a little bit sad about the almonds because I, even during the program was still having almonds, my food out of the book, what I thought was
because you didn't know your data yet. And then once you knew your data, you said you never were eating oysters anyway. So the only thing that you really had to focus on was almonds.
Almonds.
What happened with that?
I got rid of all the almond milk, almond butter, almond flour. I said, I don't want to see another almond in my house again. And I was glad because I knew what the problem was. It wasn't the eggs and oats and milk and cheese and everything under the sun.
Nope.
Almonds. Because I did go on an elimination diet, and what I started doing was adding almond milk for my dairy.
In the past.
Mm-hmm. And the foods in the recipe book, some of them had almonds. I found lots of things with almonds, and I still was not feeling the swollenness, the puffy, the bloating, the gas, all of the things that I was feeling before eating out of that recipe book.
So I want to clarify the time frame for our audience that's watching. When you first joined the program, we ship out our food sensitivity testing, and that's part of our food mapping process. However, prior to you getting your data, yes, we have a recipe book where you increase the diversity of food huge until you get your data. So of course, the recipe book is going to have multiple different types of recipes in there, but the data point, once people get their data, is where they really clarify exactly based on their data what they can add back in and what they need to remove. In Corinna's case, it sounds like it was just really 2 main things: oysters and almonds.
Yep.
Okay, so what happened once you did get your data and you eliminated the almonds?
I really feel good. Every day I feel better. I wake up early, energized. I feel good. I feel really good. I haven't felt this good in a long time.
I want to clarify something here, which was like prior to the program, you were almost down to like 8 foods and you're still feeling like crapola. And then now you just have to remove mainly the almonds. You're focusing huge on almonds. And what happened to, is it Penelope?
Penelope's gone. I was looking in the mirror and I said, oh my gosh, I think I'm getting an ab. I had a tummy tuck surgery. So my ribs and my stomach were already caged in.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the pain I have when your ribs and everything, or your muscles are all caged in, and everything you eat, it's swelling it up and stretching it out. It was so bad. so bad.
There's actually a before and after photo you did. I think that one was right before the program and one was just a couple weeks, like a week or two after you found out almonds was out, and literally you gave birth.
I did, really.
Before
really.
and after photo.
Yes.
You gave birth to Penelope.
I always told my son I was going to get him a baby sister and her name was going to be Penelope. So when I started getting swollen, I said, oh, it's Penelope.
What happened to your pain? You said your pain went from what level to what level?
My pain went from a 10 to a 0. Once in a while, I have flare-ups. I still keep getting them in my ears, but I'm noticing they're smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't last as long, and they're not as throbbing and just hot and red and irritated. I'm excited that my doctor wants to, because of my labs, possibly wean me off my medication soon.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay. Let's focus on the pain and then we'll go on medications question. Okay. So pain-wise, you went from a 10 to mostly almost a 0 right now. What do you think was the most impactful thing that you did that caused that pain to go down just in this 2-month time frame to almost 0?
I would have to say fish oil.
Yeah, the Pro Omega 1000.
Fish oil, the Pro Move, the SPM.
SPM.
I no longer take ibuprofen for pain because I just use.
And ibuprofen is one of the worst things that you can do in autoimmunity because it really rips up and creates horrible issues with your gut.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So supplementation did help. For those of you that are watching, if you are interested in learning more about my pain protocol, you can go to our store and there's a line called Pain Essentials, and what Corinna is talking about with ProMove, SPM is in there as well for you to check it out. So check out our store, drmaggie.com. So supplementation did, you felt like made a difference in pain. What else? Anything else besides supplementation?
My hormones.
Okay. Really? Hormones and pain are linked?
Yes.
How so?
I was having really bad periods, sometimes 2 a month, super heavy, destroying the bed, bad cramps, bad clotting, horrible periods.
Right.
A couple of weeks after starting the hormone supplements, I finally got a period because it comes and it goes, and then it's twice and then it's not. And it was a nice, calm, mellow, what I thought in my brain could possibly be normal.
Yes.
A lot better. That's a lot better. I think I sleep better, but also I found out my adrenals were at stage 3 adrenal fatigue.
Yeah, that's why you were so tired.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of it is a lot of the supplements help. The food definitely helps because you obviously get the food before the supplements.
But even before that, Corinna, how important was your data for your hormones?
Very important, because I found out I have PCOS, which I knew all along, you know.
And that was feeding, your PCOS was feeding your autoimmunity.
Yeah, your doctor says we can't find your left ovary. Do you have a left ovary? And I'm like, yeah.
For the people in the audience who doesn't know, PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it's just one of the patterns that can trigger autoimmunity huge. And Corinna got her data and realized that she had polycystic ovarian syndrome with that pattern, hormone pattern, and she also looked at her adrenal hormones, which showed that she was at end-stage adrenal fatigue.
Yes.
So that's how we chose your supplementation and the lifestyle changes to actually turn your hormones around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I feel it. I feel really good. I don't have any night sweats, no hot flashes, none of that stuff anymore.
You're like, hail to the no.
Yes. Goodbye.
You know, like you're talking about you're talking about water. You're talking about increasing diversity of your food. You're talking about data to actually clearly reintroduce a whole lot of food. You're talking hormone balancing. You've been struggling with symptoms for at least 10 plus years before you even got your diagnosis. Did anyone put this together for you at all up for the past 10 years?
No. I've asked my doctor to run my hormone test, and he says, oh, you're still having a period. That's fine. You're fine. I said, I'm having 2 periods a month. I am bleeding to death. Okay, let's go get an ultrasound. Yes, ultrasound. We can't find your ovary.
You're fine.
Well, where is it, you know? Well, maybe you need a hysterectomy. Well, let's try this medication. I'm like, So I really stayed away from that OB doctor it's been years. I haven't been there in a couple of years.
You know, Corinna, a lot of people think OBGYNs are the experts in hormone balancing.
No.
They're the experts in prescribing birth control pills and doing hysterectomies. Right. They have zero training in actually testing your hormones and how to balance your hormones. Because that requires lifestyle and supplements. And there's really
I
zero
was
training for doctors in that.
lucky enough, my rheumatologist doctor would let me venture out and do what I want to do, you know?
Let's talk about your roomie here, because you mentioned that your doctor is now starting to suggest to you to start lowering your autoimmune meds.
Yes.
Can we talk about that? Because that's unheard of. People are like, very few doctors, their primary or the rheumatologist is going to say, let's lower your meds. How did this happen?
Well, I got my labs, you know, that data stuff.
Yeah, you know, the data stuff that we talk about and teach.
Yep. So I did
Yeah.
my labs, and my labs, all of my inflammation markers are down. My iron level is good, which she never said anything about my iron level. She just let me be anemic. But at least she's lets me, you know, she asked me what I was doing, and I told her all about your program, and she wanted to know more. And so I talked to her. I said, look her up on Facebook, and I gave her your name. And so I hope, you know, hopefully she refers you to people, to you and your program, because it really works. I've done so many things: chiropractic, holistic, massage therapy, acupuncture, cupping, all kinds of things to try to make me feel better. None of it made me feel better. I tried this program and I told my husband, I need you to watch this program. And he didn't even watch it. He thought if I thought it was going to be good enough, and it would help me get out of the bed, because we went on a trip where he took days off. I think my family thought I was going to die because my daughter says my mother's really sick. My husband took me on this trip, and he knew I wasn't feeling well. And we drove all up the coast, and all I wanted to do was sit, you know. And I'm all up and ready to go. I'm not wanting to sit. So I'm glad I'm feeling better, you know. And I told him, if this program helps even just a little bit, it'll be a good program, you know. And it's helped tremendously, like tremendously. Crying. I'm all sentimental.
I'm so happy.
My hormones.
You know what I love about you, Corinna?
What?
You're so expressive. No, we always know how you feel and where you stand.
Oh, good.
You have such a big heart. Whew.
I do.
I'm so happy for your results.
Me too.
All right.
And I'm still continuing on, because there's more.
You're only 2 months out, and I tell people this is the launch pad to a year of autoimmune turnaround. I mean, we have interviews with alumni that are 2-3 years out, and they're continuing to improve. That's the thing people don't realize, is we're interviewing you just at the end of the program, which is just 2 months into this, and these are the results at 2 months, and this is the launch pad.
It is great. It's great.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
What is something that you can do now effortlessly that 2 months ago you would have thought was impossible?
I actually can get down on my knees, with my knees bent all the way down on the ground, and garden. In my garden, I couldn't close my knees. I couldn't sit Indian style. I couldn't sit one hip on the floor Indian style. I was so in bad shape. I can do it all now. I can sit Indian style for a long time, and my knees don't hurt. When I would come home from the gym, my feet, the tops of my feet would hurt all day long. Nothing hurts anymore. I go to the gym, I work hard, I come home, and I work harder. It's great.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
If we're talking to somebody who just joined our Facebook group, Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally, or they just saw one of our videos, and they're debating whether to click to join the group or to watch our training, what would you say to that person right now?
Join the group. Join the group. It's the best decision you can make for yourself.
And if someone's debating whether even click to watch our training to understand what our program is about, what would you say to that person?
That's where I started. I clicked to watch some training, and I said, hey, wait a minute, this lady knows what she's talking about. You know, things that you bring up are things that I've brought up to my doctor, that my doctor is just like, no, you know, you're fine. And it resonated with me, and it made me more curious. It made me more curious to find out what else you knew.
I might know a little more things.
I tell people, you know, look at all her videos. Anybody that I've told to join your group, look at her videos. You know, sometimes she does free trainings.
All the time.
You know, check it out. There's a lot of good free information in there. If I had the strength and energy to go through, I may have done it that way. but I didn't have the strength or energy to pick and choose what I needed to look at. I just needed somebody to help me, guide me, show me.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
You needed to get better 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did you almost not join the program?
The cost, and because I didn't know if I would have enough energy to actually focus. But I talked to my husband about the cost, and I told him, do you know how much money I spend on the chiropractor, the acupuncture, the doctor, the this thing, the that supplement, all of this stuff that's not helping? What if it helps, you know?
You know, I always actually tell people the most expensive thing that you could do is actually spend the money on shit that doesn't work.
Yes.
Right?
Now
Because
I don't get my B12 shots anymore. I don't have to go to the chiropractor unless I want to. I get my massages when I want to. You know, it's not something that I thought I needed to help me feel better that was not working. Now I actually enjoy them, you know. I enjoy to get cracked up. I enjoy to get stuck with needles, you know. I enjoy my massage, but then I was not enjoying it.
It's true choice versus a necessity.
Yeah. I'm excited that I don't take those B12 shots anymore. I was getting 6 injections twice a week. And didn't help.
You weren't absorbing it anyway.
Yeah, no.
Even as an injection, it wasn't the right form of B12, and your body wasn't even able to utilize it.
No, I know. My data told me that. when my B12 was plus 2,000.
But not absorbed, not working.
It was not working.
Question, you said the second reason you almost didn't join was you didn't think you had the energy to be able to do the work to actually get the results. What happened with that belief?
I had to pull up my big girl panties and actually sit down and watch it. And it was fun and it was engaging and it wasn't long and drug out and boring, you know. I actually am excited to go to the meetings, you know, and see all the people and see all their progress. And it's inspiring. So it did help me to get up and get moving, you know.
So a lot of times people find that the journey in their health is stuff that they got to do. They don't know what to do first. Yeah. Second of all, even once they know what to do, they feel like they don't have support or the results to motivate them to keep going.
Yeah.
How is this different?
Well, I have the support as far as I can do whatever, you know, I feel makes me happy. At the beginning of the program, my husband told me, you know, whatever you make for yourself, I'll eat it too. It'll be fine. And I told him, I said, you know, to be honest with you, if you want to support me, I got 2 grown kids and you that eat totally different than me. Make sure you guys are fed. This way I can make sure I'm better, you know? And it took me a couple of 3-4 weeks to get the swing of things, but now I'm back to cooking their meals and cooking my meals, you know?
So you had support of family that helped you be successful. Any other types of support that you felt like you had that helped keep you accountable and moving along?
The den.
You mean people in the program?
People, that stinky Santa.
Our mindset coach.
I love her. She's sweet. She's sweet.
So the support you were able to be accountable and it kept you going through.
Yeah. I didn't feel like I was doing this alone. You know, I felt like I had a whole crowd of people going along with us. So I never felt like I was doing it alone.
I think that's the biggest difference people don't realize is the power of community and how important that support is in your success.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be another diet that you're going to try on your own. This isn't going to be another big old thing that you have to do on your own without support, hoping and praying it's going to work. You literally have a team of people working with you, and coaches in our program working with you as well.
Yep, and they don't leave you hanging. If you got a question, you reach out and you get your question answered.
Oh, hell yeah. Like try getting that with seeing a doctor every 6 weeks or 6 months.
My husband made an appointment. His appointment is March 3rd. And I said, that's a long time.
You mean that's a month from now? Wait till then to get your question answered.
The pain that you're having in your back is at the doctor.
Well, Corinna, thank you so much for your time and honestly your engagement in all the groups. I mean, we have alumni in our main Facebook group, Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. We have alumni like Corinna, and you've been posting like crazy with your wins and your recipes and your cooking and your results. Thank you for your generosity in sharing your newfound knowledge and success.
Thank you. Thank you for this program. Thank you very much, Miss Maggie. I love you.
I love you too.
I'll see you later.
Boy, thank you for joining me on that interview. And Corinna, I think to me is a great example of somebody who really, she talked about being hung up on what the cost of the program was going to be. But in actually doing the math, she realized how much she has spent over the last 10 years in things that didn't work, and how much the quality of her life has really improved now with what her bloating and pain is now down to 0 just in 2 months. And even her rheumatologist is just talking about starting to lower her medications. So when she looks at her results, and she also looks at now the things that she chooses to do for her health are now true choice. There's no more necessity in most of her healthcare expenses. This became a no-brainer. So congratulations to Corinna. And if you enjoyed that interview, if you're on YouTube, please click a thumbs up, click subscribe. If you're watching this on Instagram, make sure you follow. And if you're in our Facebook group and you'd like to book a chat with us, there's a link above to book a call with our team so we can learn more about you to see if we can help you. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.